Hey, this is Saflevaga from LickNRiff.com, and it's time for another viewer request. And in this video we're going to learn how to play Scott Joplin's The Entertainer on guitar. Now this is a complete fingerstyle arrangement. I have no idea who made this arrangement. I've searched high and low for a complete arrangement containing all 4 parts. I found this one, I've learned it in order to teach you how to play it. So whoever made this arrangement, if you know who made this arrangement, write it down in the comments and credit will be given. Anyway, 2 things you need to know. This employs the Travis picking technique, meaning that you play the rhythm, the ragtime rhythm, with your thumb. 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2. Ragtime is a 1-2 rhythm. Now, the second thing you need to know is that it's in drop D, meaning that you lower your E string, your E bass, down to D. Okay? Alright, so let me play it for you and then we'll jump right into the lesson with tabs on the screen and everything, and we'll break it down lick by lick and learn how to play this one. Enjoy. It goes like this. So as I said, it's in drop D, so make sure you tune your guitar to drop D. And let's begin. It begins with this lick. Okay? And before we break it down, the next lick is just the same lick, an octave down. These are octaves. Okay? Octaves. So it's 5 and 7 on the E string, 8 and 5 on the B string, 7 on the B string and 7 on the G string. Okay? 5, 7, 8, 5, 7, 7. Then an octave down, so it's 2 and 4 on the G string, 5 and 2 on the D string, then 4 and 5 on the D string, then the A string. 4 on the D string, 5 on the A string. Okay? 2, 4, 5, 2, 4, 5. And then this one. Okay? This is 0 to 2 on the A string, 5, 2 on the E string, which is a D string now, and then 4, 2, 1, 0 on the D bass. Okay, the E string. So 0, 2, 5, 2, 4, 2, 1, 0, and you pick a D chord. Now you can pick it like this with your fingers, or you can strum it, whichever sounds good to you. Now you can embellish this as well. Okay, hammering on, sliding down. Okay, again. Okay, if you want, if it doesn't sound good to you, then just leave it like this. Sometimes I embellish, sometimes I don't. It depends on what you want to play. Now, this is gonna be a long lesson. First part of the song. I wanted to play it first so you can hear how it goes. I'm gonna play it a bit slower than the demonstration. Try to listen to the bass notes. Try to see how they come in. Okay, this is the first part. So you begin with 2 and 3 on the D string, and then you take a C chord shape up 2 frets. So your bass note is on 5. This is a D chord. This is a D add 9 chord, but you don't play the add 9. You play all 3 notes that you press. So the lick is just the D string and the B string 3 times. Okay, so got it? 2, 3, lick. Okay, now the bass notes go like this. Okay, I'm gonna speak out with the bass notes. Bass, 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 bass. Okay, and you just play the low D and then the A bass on 5, which is another D note. So it's 2 D bass notes. So it's low D, high D, low D, high D. Okay, so E, A. This is confusing. E, A, E, A. Okay, together again. E, A, E, A. Okay, got it? Now at normal speed. Now this last note was wrong because now you need to play 5 on the E string, which is now a G note. So it's 5, and then you pick the D string, and then 4 on the E string. So it's 5 on the E bass, D string, 4 on the E bass. Okay? I think you got it. So the next line is this. So this is just sixths. I hate that word, sixths. Now you begin with the sixth, which is within the D chord, 3 on the B string, and 4 on the D string. This is minor sixth. So you play this, and then a major sixth on 5, which is just 5 and 5 on the B string and the D string. So you play the first minor sixth and then the major sixth, and then you just move it up to 6, then to 7. Okay, so it's let's call it 3. So it's 3, 5, 6, 7. Okay, it's 3 and 4, 5 and 5, 6 and 6, 7 and 7. And when you're playing the sixth at 7, you pick the A note, the A bass. Got it? And then just 3 and 4, 5 and 5, and 7 and 7 without the sixth. So it's 3, 5, 7. Then the bass again. Then 2 and 2. Then 5 and 5. Then 3 and 4. Okay? 2, 5, 3. So it's 3, 5, 6, 7. 3, 5, 7. 2, 5, 3. Now along with the bass notes. A. And then you play open A string, then 2 on the A string, then 4 on the A string, but along with the 4 you play the 2 and the 3 on the D string. Okay, so it's 0, 2, 4 and 2 together, 2 on the D string, you play them together, you keep the 4 on the A string ringing, and you play the 3 on the D string. Okay? So this is actually C sharp minor triad, minor third, sorry, C sharp minor third, turning it into C sharp major. Okay, so and then up to D. It's a sort of a chromatic movement, a very smart chromatic movement in back to the D. And then you play this again. Okay, we play this, then you play this again. Okay, the lick, 5, D string, 4, then this. Okay, this is a hint of things to come because the next parts have really complicated high parts. So you bar the 7th fret. Just a second. I have a spotlight right on me, so it's getting really hot in here. So okay, now you get this. You bar the 7th fret and you pick 7 on the E string, 10 on the B string, and then 9 on the B string along with 7 on the A string. Okay? This is an E major third. So 7, 10, 9, along with the high E bass. It's not a bass note, but it's a high E bass. It's the bass note of that chord. So, and then 7 on the E string again, 10 on the E string, 14 on the E string, A bass, okay, and then pull off from 12 to 10 on the E string, and then 12 on the B string, and then another major sixth on 12 and 12 on the E string and the G string. Okay? So, together. And then this little lick again. Got it? So, together. Okay, didn't play the bass here. You can skip the bass. It's the lick sounds nice, but the bass gives it sort of an emphasis. Listen to the difference. Okay, this is kind of a break, and this gives the break a bit more emphasis. So sometimes I play the bass, sometimes I don't. I prefer to play the bass, but sometimes I don't know. My fingers just do whatever they like. That didn't sound good. Anyway, you do this again. Then you do the first line again. And then you play A bass and D bass. And now one of my favorite licks of all time. This one. The bass movement here is genius. It's ingenious. It's amazing. I love this movement. It's a descending bass line, which is still in ragtime. It's a bass, then a pedal note, then going down a half step, then the pedal note again, then a half step, then the pedal note again, then the half step, then a pedal note again, then A. So it's an ingenious arrangement for guitar, this one. On piano it's a lot easier, it's just dun, 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 dun. But on guitar it's quite ingenious. You're going to like this. So the lick is this. Okay, this is pretty easy. It's just 10, 12, 14. Then again. Then 10, 12, 10. 14, 10, 12, 14. Then 10, 12, 10 again. Okay, that's pretty simple. Now the bass notes go like this. D string. Yeah, this is gonna be confusing. I'm not sure I'm gonna explain this well. I'm gonna try my best. So D, 10, and then 12 along with 12 on the A string. Okay, got it? D, and then 14 again. So D string, 12 on the A string, and then 10 on the D string, on the D bass, on the E string. Told you it's confusing. 10 on the E string. Okay? I hope you're starting to hear the logic behind this. D string, A, 10 on the E string. So, and then this. So along with 12 you play the G string. And then you play 14 on the E string along with 9 on the E bass. Okay? So together with these two notes it sounds like this. 10 G. Okay? Again. D. 12 on A. 10 G. 9. And then 10 and 12 again. G on the G string along with the 12. Okay? Then 14 by itself, then 8 on the E string. Together again. We're gonna take this one really slowly because it's very confusing at first. It's also confusing to explain, but it's really confusing to get down at first. So okay, this is where we're at. This is where we are. You can't say where we're at. That's slang. Not that there's anything wrong with slang. It's just that I'm an educational person. So, I hate explaining this lick. I love playing it, I hate explaining it. But this is probably one of the more difficult parts of this composition, so from here on out it's gonna be a smoother sailing. I'm not gonna lie to you and say that it's gonna be easy, but this is probably the trickiest one to get down. Because the picking is really confusing. So, again. Okay, and then 10, 12, 10 with G on the 12 again. I think we're done. Yeah, we're done. We've only got this left. Okay, so together, again, I'm gonna play it and read it out as I go along. D, A, 10, G, 9, G, 8, G. Okay? One last time. D, A, 10, G, 9, G, 8. That's the best I can do. I really hope you got it. That's how it sounds. Okay? And then it's the same as here. Okay, it's even the same shapes, only here. So it's 14 and 14 along with the A bass. 14 and 14 of course on E and G. Okay, we're playing the high 14 and it's 6th, so it's a major 6th. So 14 and 14 with A, then 10 and 11 and 12 and 12, then 14 and 14 again. So A, 9 and 9, 12 and 12, 10 and 11. And then A and D. Just make sure you don't play them together. You don't play it like this. Okay? You don't want to sound as if you're tuning a guitar. You want to mute the A bass before you play the D bass. Okay, you mute it with your thumb. You pick it, you touch it with your thumb, and you pick the D string. The irony, I just explained one of the more difficult licks, and now I'm explaining a simple muting process. I don't know, I find it amusing. So, 14. 10, 12, 14, 10, 12, 14, A, 9, 4, 12, 10, A, D. That's the first part. So let's play it together, and now that you know what I'm playing, this is gonna look a bit less scary. Seems like we've learned this ages ago. Remember to play the bass on that one. A quarter down. Second part is really fun. It's a lot of fun. It's this. Okay, this is the second part. Okay, let's begin. You begin with a major third on 2 on the E string, along with 3 on the B string. Okay, 2 and 3. This is inside the D chord. So, it's a major third, and then it's a minor third, chromatically going up from 3 and 5 to 4 and 6. Then it's 5 and 7, but this is where the lick actually gets going, because you add the bass. Okay, you add the A bass. So it's 2, 3, 4, 5. 5 and 7 along with the A bass. Okay, you just add your pinky on 7, making it 7 and 7, a fourth. And you pick the D string along with 7 and 7. Then you play 5 and 7 again, then the A bass again. Got it? Bass, bass, bass. A, D, A. 5, 7, 5. And then again. So you play it twice. With a small difference of playing the D string along with 3 and 5 this time, because you want to keep the basses going. A, D, A, D. Okay? And you finish on the A string. Then a D chord, you just play it from top to bottom. So you play the E string, B string, and G string. Now, I like to embellish this. I like to play like this. Okay, I like to to pick the entire chord, and then the B string and the G string again. You don't have to do it. You can also pick it like this if you want. You don't have to do it. It sounds good like this. And then you put either your third finger or your pinky on the G bass, which is now at 5 on the E string, because you need this. Okay, so you keep your G bass pressed and you play this. 0, 2, 3 on the B string, open E string, 2 and 0 on the E string, you play the G bass again with 2, so together. Got it? Bass, bass. And then 3 on the B string, open E string again. So, got it? And then this. So it's the D chord again. You pick strings D and G, and then you pick the E string, and then on the E string 3, 5, 7. Okay? When you pick the E string the first time, of course, it's on 2. It's on F sharp because you've got the D chord on. So D and G, 2, 3, 5, 7. Okay? So the first line of the second part goes like this. Okay, got it? I hope you did. If not, we'll come back to it. Okay, so after you play this, you play this again. Okay? And then you play this. So you just play 5 and 7. You can strum them. Okay? It's a phlegm. And then 7 on the E string, 8 on the E string, and then it's A7. This is a D7 shaped A7 on 9. It's 9, 8, and 9, and you play the A bass along with it. So, and you play the chord 3 times. So. And then you play an E chord again. Okay, but you just need these 3 fingers. You need 7 on the E string, 9 and 9 on the B and G strings. And then 5 on the E string again. So it's... Now I like to slide back into the 5. Okay, it's just a small embellishment. Tommy Emmanuel style embellishment. You don't have to do it, of course. This is my preference. And then the A bass twice. And then you play the whole thing again. So let's play it, and then play it again, and then play the second ending. Now begins the second ending. Okay, it's up to here. It doesn't look as scary as when you don't know what's being played, right? After you you actually dissect a piece and know what's being played, it seems less scary. check it out. I mean, pay attention to that. The first time you see me play something, most of you comment, you write the minute of the video in which I'm playing, and you go, oh my god, and then most of you leave a comment after watching the video, this is so easy, thanks for explaining it. That's because when you see somebody play and you don't know what they're playing, it looks a lot more difficult than it is, and when you know what's being played, it automatically decreases in complexity in your mind, because you understand what's being played. That's why I keep repeating everything 1,000 times, because then you understand what's being played and you can dissect it by just watching me play it again and again, and you actually practice it in your mind when you're watching it. Even thinking about what you're going to play is practice. It's called visualization. That's why I keep playing it over and over again in my videos. Okay, so now enough talking, back to playing. And talking. So, okay, this is the second ending. Okay, it's the same G. You play 0, 2, 3 on the B string, 0, 2, 0 on the E string, again, 2 along with the G bass, and then 3 on the B string, and then the open E string again, but so far it's the same lick. And then you play D, but you play the D bass along with 3 on the B string, and then you play G string, B string. Okay? And now comes the ending of the second part, which repeats itself as a transition between the third and fourth part again. So just know that this is the ending to the second part and to the third part. So now this lick, 2, 1, 2 on the G string, you can play it several different ways. You can slide it, you can pick it, you can pull it off and hammer it on, or you can do what Chet Atkins does and do this. 0, hammer on to 2, slide back to 1, slide back to 2. Okay? You can also hammer it on, then pull it off, then hammer it on again. Okay? There are many ways you can play this lick, but the basic lick is 2, 1, 2. Now, a G chord, F-shaped G chord. 3, I was thinking about F. 3 on the B string, 4 on the G string, 5 on the D string, and you play this. This is it. You play the D string along with the B string, and then G string, B string. And then you take your pinky and you put it on 6 on the D string. And then you play G string, B string, G string again. Okay, so it's... Makes sense now? Okay, that chromatic movement does the job so well. And then D again. It's just the D and G strings together, then B string, then E string. Then 5 on the E string, then D again. This time it's E string, B string, G string. Okay, so it's... You can pick the D bass again after you play the 5. don't have to. Okay? And then this. This is E7, A, D. E7, you just play one, you press 1 on the G string, 2 on the D string, and you pick the B, G, and D strings. Then you add the 7th note with your pinky on 3 on the B string. It's E to E7. You pick all 3 again, B, G, and D. And then A7, first it's A7-6. You pick the A bass, an open G string, and 2 and 2 on the B string and the E string. So you pick E, B, and G along with the A bass, 2 and 2 on the E and B strings. This is 7-6 chord, or you can call it 7-13, or you can call it a jazz 13 chord, you can call it a 13 chord, you can call it a jazz 6th, doesn't matter how you call it, that's how it sounds. And then you take the finger off of the E string and you just play an open E string, so the context is actually just a 7th chord. The 7th chord is still playing. All these notes are still playing. And then D, you play the B string, excuse me, the B string on 3, of course, and then you play this. So it's D, G, A, and then D, G, and B together. D, G, A, D5. This is D5 because we don't play the major note. The ending again. Now with explanation. 2, 2, 1, 2, G. G over G sharp. D. D bass again if you want. E7, A7-6, A7, D. Entire second part again. Okay, we're halfway through. Now the third part. The third part is kind of a chord solo. Up till now it's been more like chromatic movement with arpeggiating chords. But now it's the third part is kind of one big chord solo. Let me play it slowly so you can try and see how it goes, and you'll get the feel of it. And then we'll break it down. Now, it's both easy and difficult at the same time because it's easy because it's chords, so you just memorize shapes, but it's difficult because you have to put some really unorthodox chords on, like this first chord. Okay? When I first learned this piece, it took me, I mean, I've learned the entire piece, but this little chord gave me so much trouble, I just couldn't get it down. I've had to practice it for a week before this felt comfortable for me. So I'm sure most of you won't have trouble with this, but each set of fingers has trouble with something in this piece because this is a very, very complex composition. So let me play. Okay? And then you play this again. Which we just learned. So, let's jump into the third part. Okay, so you begin by putting this on. This little chord on. You bar the 5th fret, the entire 5th fret, and then you put both 2nd and 3rd fingers on 6 and 7 on the E string, and the pinky on the B string at 8. Now this is what gave me the trouble, putting both 2nd and 3rd fingers on the same string. After all, you're not supposed to do that. Usually, as you're being taught when you just start learning guitar, if you put 2 fingers on the same string, then one of them is probably wrong and should be taken off, because there's no reason to put 2 fingers on the same string. And here, there's a reason, because you do this. Okay? You take the 3rd finger off and back again to make a major 3rd into a minor 3rd and back to a major 3rd, which is difficult in and of itself because you need to take that 3rd finger off and back again, so you have to get used to that again. This is probably the chord that gave me the most trouble in all the 17 or 18 years I've been playing. I hated this chord when I just learned it, but I'm sure that you'll get used to it a lot faster than I did. So you play this, and again you take the, let's recap, barring the 5th fret, 6 and 7 on the E string with your 2nd and 3rd fingers, and pinky on the E string, on the B string at 8. So you play this, 7 and 8, then 6 and 8, then 7 and 8 again. And the bass notes are G, G, and G. These are the notes, but you pick the E string and the D string at 5, so they're G notes. So, okay? Okay? You pick the E bass, then the D bass, then the E bass. So, E, D, E, E, D, E. Okay? So, and then, before you do this, you can pick an open E string instead of the last G note. It works as well. Listen to this. Okay? Sounds fine. So either play the last G note and just jump here, or just play an open E note and then an open D note, actually, an open E string, and then jump. You have time enough to prepare this chord. So that's what I usually do. And then this chord, it's just G chord, which is 10 on the E string and 12 and 12 on the B and G strings. So it makes sense to play the G the G bass, but if you're having trouble with the jump, or if you don't like the fact that there's no bass note playing when you play this, then just play the open E string. I like to have bass notes playing in the background, so I don't like it when a bass note cuts off, so I prefer the E string. If you want to get Puritan about it, just play the G chord, the G bass. And then you play, it's a C chord, you play the D shape on 12, 13 and 12, along with the A bass, so it's C over E, so C over A, and if you're playing C over A, then it makes sense to play G over E, G over D beforehand. So you've got one complex chord and then another complex chord. So for those Puritans of you who wanted to play the G bass because the D bass isn't the G bass, then you can play G over D, and then you play C over A anyway. Okay? I hope you got the logic of that. Anyway, do whatever sounds good to you. You don't have to listen to my advice. Okay, this is the lick. And then you pull off from 1 to 0 on the B string. And then you play a C chord. You play the A string and the B string. And then 3 on the B string, then open E string. So it's just this. Okay? Pull off, C, 3 on the B string, E string. Now this, of course, is C9, so you can say that you're playing a pull off and then C, C9. And then this. This was a major movement. This was a major chord, this was a major chord, this was a major chord. By the way, this is G, because if you take D up to 7, it's G, so that's what you're playing. Okay, with a low bass. So, and then another major chord, so it's all major chords. And now it's a minor movement of the same taste. So you play this. You bar the 2nd fret and you play. You put your 2nd finger on 3 on the E string and the pinky on 5 on the B string. This is E minor. So now you take off the 2nd finger and put it back on again. Okay, from 3 to 2. So 3, 2, 3. The bass movement is the same. E string, D string, E string again. So bass, 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 bass. Or open D again. So you have time to move here. Now this, which is E minor, it's 7, 8, 9 on the E, B, and G strings. I just remembered a really stupid joke with 7, 8, 9. So, and then you play A minor, which is 8 on the E string, 10 on the B string, G on the 9th string, which is D minor, up on 8. Okay, so you've got either you play the E bass and then E minor, or you play E minor over D, which sounds nice because it's nice, it's just nice. And okay, you want to hear the joke? The joke, it's a really stupid joke. Why is 6 afraid of 7? Because 7, 8, 9. Okay, so and then this is a really cool lick. You're gonna love this. told you you're gonna love this. This is one of my favorite licks in this composition. Okay, so 2, pull off to 1, back to 2, pull off hammer on the G string. Okay, reminds you of something. Okay, so this is a completely different context. And then open the B string, 1 on the B string, but you bar all 3 strings. You bar E, B, and G because now you need to slide it up to 5. So, and then 5 on the E string, and you play B string and G strings along with the A bass, and then E again, B and G strings again, then the bass, and then E again, and then the B and G strings again. It sounds confusing when I say it, but it's really simple. It's this. It's just E and then B and G 3 times with the bass notes. Okay, so it's bass, bass. It's the same rhythmic idea as this. Okay. Composition. Okay. Got it? So from the top. And then this, which is G over B. It's 2 on the A strings and the string, and 3 on the B string, and you play A string, G string, and B strings. And then you take this finger up a string, this finger down a string, and now you have E minor. E minor. It's not at 9. This is 9. So. So this is E minor. 2 on the E bass, 3 on the high E, and you pick strings E, B, G, and E. So got it? So it's and then yeah. And then, okay, and then you play this. Okay, Scott Joplin was a genius. You bar the 9th fret, and you place 2 fingers. You place the third and the 3rd finger and the pinky on 11 and 11 on the B and G strings. It's actually an F sharp chord, but you don't have to put the 2nd finger on because you don't use it. So you don't play it. You don't play that note. So it's easier to put this than this. So it's faster. And then you pick the A string along with the G string, and then B string, E string, and then either slide or just play. Okay, I like to slide. To 14, and then pull off from 12 to 9, and then 10, all on the E string, and then 12 on the B string. Then A string, and then this chord. An A diminished chord. From the E string to the D string, it's 8, 7, 8, 7. Or from the top, 7, 8, 7, 8. Okay? So okay? Or you can leave the A on. But the ragtime feel is a staccato feel, so this sounds more fitting to this piece. So we're done with the first line. Let's play it again so we can dissect it and analyze it. Okay, it's G. It's G to G minor to G. That's smart. So it's G. G, C. Either it's G over D or C over A, remember? C with the ninth. E minor. E minor, A minor. By the way, recognize this chord? It's A minor, it's just A minor. G over B, E minor. Then F sharp. A diminished. That's the first round of the third part. We're the third part already. That's nice. That's nice, but we still have a long way to go. So then you play it again. And then you play the G over B, and then this. Or I like this chromatic movement because it's a chromatic lick after a chromatic lick instead of or. So it's backwards movement, then forwards movement. That's why I like it, because it diversifies the lick a bit. So the G over B, and then 5, 4 on the E bass, then 0 on the E bass, and then you bar this is D sharp 7. You play D sharp 7, but you bar the first fret for a D sharp bass. So you play the D sharp with pinky on 3 on the E string, second finger on 2 on the B string, third finger on 3 on the G string, and barring the first fret. So okay, so and then this. So it's this. You bar the 7th fret on strings E, B, and G, and you pick the E and G strings. Okay, alone. It's just a major 6th. So and the A bass along with it. Okay, and then the pinky on 10 on the E string. Again, you pick 5 and 5 on E and G on the E string and the G string. It's a major 6th. You don't play an A minor chord. Okay? You want to give it that major feel, that major sound. Because if you play all 3, it's a minor chord. If you play only these 2, it's a major 6th. The ear hears it as a major chord. So it's 7, 10, 5. Bass notes. A. Got it? A. With it, without it, without it. Okay? The chord is without the bass. It's chord with bass, bass, chord, bass. Okay? Don't know any other way to explain it. And then it's this. A very cliche movement. It's just, it's a scale. It's 3 on the B string, 0 and 2 on the E string, and then 3 on the E string along with the G bass on 5 on the E string. Okay? So you play the entire G chord. You pick the E string and the E, B, and G strings. The E bass along with the E, B, and G strings. Okay? And then you play open E string, which is D, of course. So it's the 5th of the G chord. You play it by itself, and then you play the G chord again. Okay, 5 here, 3 here. So, and you're done with the third part. And then you play this. Remember this from the second part? It's G, G over G sharp, D, E, E7, A7, D. So, third part in full speed. And then again. Remember, the G over B is where the second ending gets replaced. Okay, and then this. Now, fourth and last part. The fourth and last part is designed to be playful because the third part is really complex. So the fourth part is kind of a comic relief. It's very amusing. It's supposed to be amusing. So it goes like this. It employs natural harmonics from the top. Then again. Okay, so it's a bit easier than it's a lot easier than the third part, but it's got its own little tricks. You'll see. So it's a minor third on 3 and 5, and the bass pedal is just A. So it's 3 and 5, moving back and forth between 3 and 5 and 2 and 4. Okay, that's the first line. 3, 2, 3, 2, 3. Okay, along with the bass notes. Bass, 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 bass. Got it? Bass, 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 bass. And then A one last time, and then this. Okay, it's artificial harmonics at 12, 12, and 12 on B, E, and B strings. Okay, for those of you who don't know artificial harmonics, it's just placing your finger directly above the steel fret, not above the wood. You press the wood, you place it above the steel, okay, at the end of the fret, and you just touch the string lightly. You don't press it, you just touch it. Okay, you don't press it down towards the fret, you just touch it, you cover it, you pick, and you let it go. Okay, so B, E, and B at 12, and then 10 on E, 12 pull off to 10 on E, 12 on the B string. Okay, so this is the first lick. And then the same thing with 5 and 7, back and forth with 4 and 6. And then the last A again. It's optional, you don't have to do it, you can just play. Okay, and then it's artificial harmonics at 7th fret on the B and G strings, and you play 7, 7, 7 on G, B, and the G. And then the solo is here. Okay, it's 12, 12, and then 14 pull off to 12 on the E string, and then 15 on the B string. Okay, so it sounds like this. Okay. And then it's this minor third, this time on 5 and 6 on the B and G strings. 5 on B, 6 on G. And it's back and forth with 4 and 3. With 4 and 5, excuse me. Okay? So it's... Okay? These are all 3 licks. So... And this time it's 12 again, only on the G, B, and G strings. And then it's exactly the same lick as the first one, only up 1 string. Up physically, down musically, because it's going down in the notes of the scale, of the pitch, of the frequency, of the wavelength. Okay, so it's 10, 12 pull off to 10 on the B string, and then it's 12 on the G string. So and then you play a B diminished chord. This time it's the high note is on 10, so it's 10, 9, 10, 9. And then you take this back to G sharp or A flat diminished. This is 7. 7 is the high note, so 7, 6, 7, 6. This was 10, 9, 10, 9, and this is 7, 6, 7, 6. So it's B diminished 3 times, then A flat diminished once, and then D. Okay, it's 5 on the E string and 7 on the B, G, and D strings. You can bar if you want, but you don't pick the A string. Okay, so it's... And then this, which is within a D chord. It's just a playful take on a playful break over the D chord. It's just 2 and 4 on the G and D strings. 2 on G, 4 on D. Okay, this is, of course, inside a D chord. Entire first line. reason to have no fun when you play it slowly. Even when you play it slowly, you can still embellish and play with it. That's the whole fun of it. When you practice, if you want to make practicing fun, just try to make music of the slower version. Try to play with it as well. Just bend strings, slide, do whatever you like. Just make your own arrangement, even if you play it slowly, until you get it up to speed. Okay, second time around. Second time around begins the same way. 3, 3 to 2, and then 5 to 4. Okay, and this is where the second ending comes in. You play this. Okay, now this is going to be a big jump. From 15 to 3, and you have to get 2 fingers ready on the same string again, like here. Okay, you have to do it here, which is G again, G to G minor. It's the same. It's the same lick again, only an octave down. Okay, so this is the next line. The second ending goes like this. Let's screw it up. How does it go? It goes like this. You put your first and second fingers on the G string on 3 and 4, okay? And your third finger, because you're gonna need the pinky, so use your third finger on 5 on the E bass, making this a G. Now, again, it's 4, 3, 4. It's G to G minor to G, with your pinky waiting to play 5 on the E string. And the bass notes are G, D, and G, meaning 5 on the E string, open D string, 5 on the E string again. So G, D, G again. So G, G, D, high D note, high A note with the pinky on 5 on the E string, then G bass again. So bass, 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 and the lick is this. Okay, it's 4, 3, 4 on the G string, 5 on the E string. Now, now just practice this. Just practice this jump. Just putting these 3 fingers all together. Got it? And then this. 3 on the E string and 3 on the B string. You can bar it. You should bar it. And then you don't have to slide. I just really enjoy slides for some reason. Maybe I have dreams of becoming a slide country player and I never really went for it. So I don't know. Maybe that's why I like slide. Okay. Now the next one is with the A bass, and you do 7, 6, 7, 7, 6, 7 on the B string, and then 7 on the E string. And then this is D to D minor to D, and then D6, and then a D triad. 10 on the E string, 10 on the B string, 11 on the G string. Okay, this is a D chord, so, and then the G over B again, and then E minor 7. You keep the pinky on the B string, 3 on the B string. You keep it there, and you just take the first finger up to the E string, and you play the G and B string both times. Okay, first with the B bass, then with the E bass. Okay, it's the G and B strings, and then this. Okay, I don't think I have to explain it because it's the same ending as the second part ending. It's this. But I will explain it anyway. It's the A6, the A7-6 again. Open E string, D. And you do the same as you did before. D, G, A, D5. We're not done yet. We're gonna recap. So, second line of the fourth part. Let's talk through it. Okay, let's say we got here. Jump to G. Bar. Slide or not slide. Minor 6. D. G. E minor. A7-6. D. Now you can either do this again, or just jump right into the first part again. I like to jump right into the first part again. So it's okay, and then you just go ahead, play the first part again, and then at the ending, play, instead of A and D, you play A and the D chord. And you're done. Before you go, practice this. Getting this under your fingers. Subscribe to my channel. Can't believe I'm done. Subscribe to my channel if you haven't already. There's a ton of lessons. Go to the website and download the tab for this. It's free, completely free. Leave a comment if you like. I'd love to hear from you. And of course, there's a donation button on the website. These lessons are all free, and your donations help make it happen. These lessons will always be free, and I thank you very, very much for any donation you choose to make. You've been very generous with the donations so far. It's not enough to quit my day job and do this every day, but I trust that it will, because, well, I know you guys by now, and you're a really nice bunch. So I thank you in advance for any donation, and go download the tab. Go get this under your fingers. It's an amazing composition. It's a terrific arrangement. I love this piece, and thank you for requesting it. Now I know how to play it too. So thanks for watching, and I'll see you the next time. I'll see you the next lesson. Go get this under your fingers. Keep picking.